Welcome to the Enlightrepreneurs Wednesday Facebook Live. Justin Minott here with two of my favorite humans of all time. I'm so excited about today. We have Ashlee and Nyla McMichael. So Ashlee, the older sister, okay? And a mother and daughter power team, powerful women, entrepreneurs, business owners, doing it all together, doing school, all of this stuff. But I'm really excited to have you both here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So here's where I want to start. Your story of actually starting this business and getting it up and running, and how you two are working together on it. So Nyla, lead off. How did this thing get started for you?
So pretty much, of course, we have a lot of entrepreneurs in this family. So I grew up around entrepreneurs in business. So I was just like, it was in my blood. So I wanted a business when I was 8, but then I had just said 9. One day I was like, Mom, I want a business. And my mom was like, what do you want to sell? And I was like, earrings. And I was like, my mom was like, earrings? And I was like, yeah, because I love earrings and not that many people are selling it, so why not? And we came up with a name, and my mom was just like, let's go for it, why not? Like, so that's just how it all started. Wow. And then we had my launch party at your coffee shop. Oh, yeah, and that's when everything, yes, that's when everything boomed. Like everything from there on until now, everything is different, way different. Wow. I had a website, and then we had started getting a lot of sales, and it was going good on my Instagram, and that's just how it all started.
Right, and your Instagram has been blowing up. I've been following that journey.
Yes, thank you.
So we'll get to some of the growth piece. I want to hear from you, Ashlee. What was the journey from your standpoint, seeing this wonderful daughter of yours come to you with this idea and this passion, and then being able to nurture that forward? Talk about that from the parent perspective.
Yeah, so very interesting. Last July or August, she came to us with a business plan. That's what it was. It wasn't official, but it was a business plan. So she sat us down and she was like, I want a business. And I was like, okay, what do you want to do? And she was like, I don't know yet, but I want a business. So she actually talked to her grandmother first about making coin purses. That was the original. And her grandmother said, well, sure, I'll make them for you. And she said, and I can sell them to my friends at school. Wow. And I was like, how in the world are you going to sell coin purses to people at school? They're 9, last year they're 9-year-olds in the 4th grade. And she was like, I will, Mom. So she had her grandmother make a couple, and she went to school. She was like, these are $20.
And somebody actually bought them. Like, she was like, I love this. And she came with her money the next day. And then I had to sell, and I was so happy because it was like, you never would expect something like that.
Right. So that's kind of where that part started. And then I would say about August or September, I realized how serious she was about starting this business. So I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's have a launch party, see how it goes. If it goes really well and you're passionate about it and you show me that you can do this, we will move forward. Right. So that's what we did. We of course had the launch party at Nolia Family and Coffee, and she invited about 75 people. We reached out to local businesses in Durham to see if they would donate anything as giveaway raffles for her guests. So we had the popcorn spot, Matt
Popper, and they donated. We had my aunt's planner business.
Yep, that
donated
Simply Planners.
Simply Planners, and then we had, of course, me, and I think that was it. And we had my aunt's business as well.
Yeah, yeah. So Bella Trio Day Spa. Yeah, they also donated a gift card. So anyway, moving forward, that's exactly what happened, and it was a huge success. And by December, she had sold 200 earrings. So this is like in 2 months. Wow. So I was like, wait a minute. I think we have something here. Let's move forward with this. And so that's when we decided to go on Instagram and use my marketing that I learned in school, because I did take a marketing course. I did take business courses. And it has really paid off because I've been able to use that more with her business than mine, because you're selling a product. Right? Not a service, because I do service. I'm an interior decorator as well as a manicurist, but she's selling products. So I was like, okay, I get to really use my marketing with her business. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've done. And that's how her Instagram has grown.
Yeah.
That's how her website was started. We reached out to someone that would do her website at a good cost, and it's blown up ever since then.
Yes, yes. And a few things that I love. One, you know, the giveaways were my aunt's business and my other aunt's business, and, you know, local connections and all these things, which just says a lot about your family. And I had the pleasure of meeting your family, an incredible room of humans, just beautiful. And then what was the second piece I was going to say? Oh, and then hearing about how you started based on something that you were passionate about. Tell me more about why earrings, because I think a lot of times people say, okay, I want to start a business or I want to be an entrepreneur, and they don't really know where to start, but you started with an area of passion. Why did you pick earrings and coin purses at the start?
Because since I loved earrings, I've been wearing studs since I was 1, and I just thought that I didn't see many people selling earrings, so I just thought that would have been a good idea. And it was kind of, I looked up how to make them, and they were pretty easy, so I was just like, yeah. And my grandma had the ability to make the coin purses, and I just said we should start off with jean because jean goes with everything, and that's just how it all started. And it was just like the easiest option for me. And it wasn't like it took a lot to make them because my grandma already knew how to do them. So all she had to do was make them and then put it with my business. So.
Yes. So Nyla, your grandmother is a fashion designer.
Yes.
And that's how she learned her sewing. She's been sewing all of her life.
All of her life.
From her mom.
Since she was 8.
Right. And so Nyla, knowing that she was a fashion designer and she was capable of it, she was like, look, you know.
I immediately came to her and I was like, Grandma, can you do this for me? And she was like, yeah, why not? Because she's always in her sewing room just sewing. Yeah. So I was just like, maybe she'll like to do it. So
So it was cool though, because after her idea, she talked to her dad about it, and he was like, well, let me sit down with Grandma and see, can she show me how to do the coin purses? Because he knows how to sew too. And so before you know it, we had him sewing them here. We had Grandma sewing them over there. We were just...
It was just like everybody was sewing.
Running a full family business around this thing.
It was just like that.
Now, for entrepreneurs who are listening, right, you found something you're passionate about. You also found a gap in the market, right, that wasn't being filled in a way. And you researched on, okay, how does this actually work, and how do I actually get this done? And so for entrepreneurs who are listening to this narrative, right, that's a way that you can figure out hopefully a successful business and one that can scale and grow from there.
Yes, correct.
So now, Nyla, how are you balancing this now? What grade are you in right now?
I'm in 5th grade.
Right, and when we're in the middle of a pandemic, and you are doing online school and figuring this. So give me the life. A day in the life of Nyla, the 10-year-old business owner.
So I start my mornings I have to get up at 8 o'clock for school, and then it starts at 8:30. So I get on class, do my classes, and then we have a break. So during that break, I just kind of take the time to relax because I've been on class the whole time. So I'm just like eating my lunch, relaxing, watching TV, and then I come back, do all of that stuff. And then when class is over, I will do homework, or I'll just take the time to chill because I've been on class all day, you know, you're kind of lazy. So I get up and then I'm like, checking to see if we have any orders. Boom, we have some orders. Go ahead and pack the boxes, do all of that stuff. My mom will take it to the post office, and then that's just how it is. So it's not really hard. You just have to have like a schedule, because if you don't, you'll be like, okay, should I do this now or should I be on a break? Should I do this now? So you have to kind of be organized as much as possible, and that's just the way to go. Like, organization is the most important thing of this whole thing. It keeps me like motivated, and it keeps me like organized, because if I don't know what I'm doing next, I will get frustrated because I'm not patient, and it has to be organized, and it has to be right where everything how I know it is. So just that's how I manage.
You're speaking to me. I feel like I need to learn from that, because I mean, time blocking and organization, I'm learning lessons from a 10-year-old today. You have this thing figured out way more than I do. I feel like there's a lot of times as entrepreneurs, you don't know what the next thing is, or what you need to do next, or really have your day structured in a way where it's like, no, I know I execute this and then I'm on to that. And you can end up spinning your tires. a lot and just trying to do doing busy work or watching Netflix or whatever. So I think you have it figured out. So Mom,
it's complicated now.
It is.
this business is blowing up. Talk about where we are right now and what's happening in terms of the volume and the scale. And you made some comments before we hopped on air here about you just have to be ready because that's where you are. So talk about that.
Yeah. So like we mentioned before, you have to be ready. And a lot of the times we're not ready. A lot of the times we don't know how big this business is going to be. We actually, or me personally, actually owned a handbag business for 7 years. It was me, my grandmother, and my aunt. We all decided, let's have a handbag business. Kind of like the idea that she said, there's the need, there's a market for handbags. So let's figure this thing out. We did our research. We did purse parties. We would go to people's homes. We would have these big purse parties. But we weren't ready. We weren't ready for the website. We weren't ready for the growth. And we got nervous. You know, we panicked, you know, having a business with my grandmother. She's older. So she was like, oh no, I'm not ready for this, you know, and it was making her nervous to grow.
Right.
And that's what you do that's what business, you're going to grow. You may grow, you may not, but you have to be prepared for the growth. And we weren't ready for the growth with the handbag business. And so with that being said, we're ready for the growth with her business because I've already had that experience and I kind of know that is what's going to happen. If you put it in, it's going to happen and you got to be ready.
Right.
So it's been a challenge because at the end of the day, she's still 10.
Yes.
So she still wants to do what 10-year-olds do. She wants to be on her phone all day. She want to dance in front of the mirror all day.
Oh,
you know,
on TikTok or whatever. Right.
She loves TikTok. She wants to be, you know, she wants to do what other 10-year-olds are doing. So I try to still allow her to do that, but with some kind of balance. So she mentioned that sometimes she's, you know, during lunch, she's just chilling. But sometimes during lunch, she's packing orders because I got to get to the post office. You know, and a lot of the times it's a challenge because she's like, you know, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't want to do anything. And I'm like, I understand, but it has to be done.
Right.
We have to do it. And I will help you. We have to do it together. There's a lot of the times as entrepreneurs, we're tired, we're exhausted, we're frustrated, all of the above. But you still have to do it. You have to take a deep breath and get it done.
Right. So Nyla, I want to encourage you. So you're 10. That never stops. That feeling of, I just want to be doing what everybody else is doing. Sometimes you have to understand that as an entrepreneur or as somebody who wants to achieve something different than the status quo, right? In order to have different, you have to do different. Right. So even for me, a lot of my peers are doing different things, right? They going out partying or whatever it is. I don't know the last time I went out to a party, right? Like I'm at home, I'm working on business plans, I'm doing this thing. And I'm like, no, catch me in 10 years when I'm fully financially free, you know, and then I'm in Puerto Rico doing things or whatever, right? You have to have a different mindset around and get used to the fact that you are never going to be fully doing what your peers are doing because you want a different life.
Yes.
Right. And when you want different, you have to do different. That's just what it is. So I really applaud you. How does that feel for you as a 10-year-old, right? Like your friends are, hey, whatever, I want to do a TikTok duet and you're like, oh, I got to pack orders for my business, right? Talk about the real tension. That's real.
It's real.
I do it. I do that a lot. Like I'm on the phone with my friends playing Roblox or something like that. And then I'll be like, okay, guys, I have to pack orders. And they're like, okay. And then it's like 2 hours later, and they're like, what happened? You say you're going to come back. I'm like, I had to pack orders. Like, I can't do anything about that. You know, sometimes I have to do things that I don't want to do, or it's just, that's the business life. Like some of my friends don't really understand. They think it's easy. I try to explain to them because some of them want businesses and I'm trying to help them, but they don't fully understand what comes behind it. Like I didn't when I was 9. I just thought, okay, let's have a business. I didn't know what would come behind it. I didn't know any of that. I was just a 9-year-old girl with a business plan, but now I know everything, and it just motivates me, like thinking like, wow, I really thought this was like this, but now I know. And it's just like all of this stuff, I was like so happy that I've accomplished this much, and compared to what I was doing when I was 9 and now it's just
compared to what I was doing when I was 9, like that's the
like
highlight.
1 year.
That message. Oh my goodness.
That's like only 1 year.
No, it's just I'm so excited for you to play this video back right? When you're 20, 30, and oh man, back when I was 9, and I was so naive and I didn't even know what it took to really run a business. Oh my gosh. To hear it from my perspective is so beautiful and so rich. And it's true. People they want the progress, but they don't want the process, right? Like they want all they're not really willing to do what it takes to get there. Most people, and that's the differentiator. I find with entrepreneurs, it's not really just skill. It's not just, it's not, okay, I'm a more skilled. No, it's, are you willing to do it?
Yeah.
Are you willing to put one foot in front of the other and not play roadblocks for 2 hours or whatever it is? Are you willing to make the sacrifices it takes to actually move forward? And you're doing it, and I just applaud you. Mom, how do you feel about this?
I love that. Well, I love that you emphasize that so much, because in reality, it's a challenge. It still is a challenge. We can paint this beautiful picture that it's all flowers and all butterflies, but the reality is it's not. There's many days that she doesn't want to do it. There's many days that I'm like, listen, do you really want this business still? We have that conversation because I want her to feel like I'm not pushing her to do this.
Yeah.
This is her dream, and I want her to always feel like that she has that option, because she does. And a lot of the times as entrepreneurs, we feel like we don't. We're in this, so let's finish it. But sometimes you have an idea of something, and it may not be what you thought it would be. And so I constantly ask her, are you sure? Are you okay? Are you sure you want to do this? Because even though you have this following and you have these customers, we can always shut it down. Yes. Because you don't have to do this. I want her to feel like she's not pressured. And every day she constantly reminds me, no, I really want to do this. I really, really want. And I'm like, okay, well, let's put your big girl panties on.
Right, let's go. Right?
Honestly, and I have to do that sometimes. And it's a challenge, like I said, but in reality, she shows me every day that she wants to do this. Even when she's tired, even with tears in her eyes, even when she's frustrated, even when she's mad at me and she's like, I don't want to talk to you right now, Mom. I'm like, okay, but we're going to talk about this later.
Right.
It's real, but she shows me and her dad and, the world every day that she wants to do this and she wants it bad. Yeah. And so I'm going to be behind her every step of the way, as long as she continues to have this dream and she's pushing.
Yeah. Ashlee, that highlights something that I think is so vital, and that is in anything like business, relationships, whatever. The desire is not always going to be there.
Absolutely.
The only thing that's left when desire is not there is decision.
I love it.
Like, we are not powerless. Like you said, you could shut it down at any time. So then it means to me, you have to make a decision.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get up and I'm going to do it again, even when the desire is not there. And I think that's what a lot of businesses burn out, or a lot of business owners burn out, because they start with this fire and they start with this passion. And that's what gets you started, but it's commitment that gets you finished, right? It's decision that gets you finished. It's passion that gets you started. But what are you going to do in the middle of that thing when you have decisions to make and you don't feel like it, right?
Right.
To me, the difference between the pretenders and the contenders is like,
oh, I love it.
That's it. Is that literally the only difference between the pretenders and the contenders? Is that contenders, like the fighters, the people who they just do it when they don't feel like it. That's the only difference. Everybody else lets what they do. I'm not going to be running, or I'm not going to whatever because I feel in the rain. And contenders don't care. Professionals don't care.
Exactly.
You're like, no, it's just, I decided, period. Yeah. So what's next for you in the business, Nyla? Where are you heading? Where do you want to take this thing?
So I want to take it till I'm very old, until I get really old. But because well, no.
I'm playing with you.
But I also, when I get older, I'll be able to manage it more. I'll be able to do more things, and it won't become my mom's responsibility, because it's just I'm getting older. I can do more things, and it's certain things that I can't do at this age yet, but I will be able to do when I'm older. That's why I want to be able to do it when I'm older. That's another thing. I always wanted this business. It'll be cool to say I've been doing this since I was 9 years old, and I'm 25 now. It's been so many years.
Oh.
It's just, yeah, old or older than that. And I can pass it down to my kids and their kids and their kids. And it could just be generation after generation. And
generational wealth. Yes. I love it, right? So she's 10 talking about generational wealth.
Come on, though.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like listening to her like, that's what we aspire for you guys. And you're aspiring that for your children, which would be my great-grandchildren, right? And she's already talking about this vision, which I think is just fascinating. It's fascinating.
But it is so far beyond the business. It is the wisdom. It is the mindset. Yeah. It's all these things that you're passing down. So Ashlee, like, you will be, because of the mindset and how you live, not what you say, but what you do. That is what gets passed on. And that's going to be 10 generations down the road, that mindset, which I'm sure you got. Generations before you, right? So really cultivating and understanding, even for you, Nyla, you're not passing down a business, you're passing down a mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
A value set, a way of life. And the business, all that is, that's assets. But the stuff that can't be taken away, if you never give your kids a dime of money, is them watching you work.
Exactly.
That can't be taken away. That can never be taken away.
I love that.
Talk about the scale of the business right now.
Yes.
What kind of volume are you doing? What kind of sales? I want to check out so that a year from now, when we're 10x, 100x, 100 times what this is. Where are you at right now in the business journey?
So I'll talk about it, and then you can kind of go on that, because I do the balancing of all the money and stuff. Yeah. So she usually averages about I'm going to say now we're averaging about 3 to 4 sales a day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 3 to 4 sales a day. We've had some amazing weekends where she's done 10 to 12 sales.
8, 12,
So, it just depends on the day. I think now that we're in this pandemic, of course, we see the sales drop, and then we see them go back up. So I think that's kind of where we are now with the sales. But she's doing extremely well, and she's able to
manage the orders and everything.
Manage the orders, and so she's able to get paid because she gets paid. I pay her bi-weekly every Friday.
That must be nice.
Yeah.
And I get to order things. I support other businesses that I see, a lot of lip gloss businesses, a lot of different businesses. I like to just support every now and then when I get my little money.
And she also has an employee. So my sister works part-time with her business, and she helps her make the earrings. So she's able to pay her employees, she's able to pay herself, and then she's able to give mama a tip, because
that's really nice. That's really nice.
So she's able to do all those things and keep up with her business without us going bankrupt or having to borrow any money. So that's good. We haven't had to go that direction, and we don't plan on. We're just allowing her business to grow naturally, and it is. And so
that's probably
that's kind of where we are. I know you mentioned that she was going to add products.
Yes,
she planned on adding more.
I have a lot of ideas coming, but that was the topic I was saying. When I get older, I can have other stuff like hoops. I was talking about that, but just not right now. But when I get older, I'm gonna start wearing hoops, and I think that'll be a good idea to sell them, because I know a lot of people who wear hoops. That's another idea for when I get older, more ideas and stuff. But I have a lot of ideas of different things that I'm planning to do when I get older.
Now, one piece of advice for you is, when you think about your business, especially at this stage in the game, because you have a long time to build it, think about the fact that you are building a brand. You are not selling products, right? You change that mindset and focus on, how do I build this brand? Then you can put whatever you want under that brand later. You could start a music production studio. It doesn't matter, because you built a brand and an identity and a following. And so, Jay-Z, he talks about, I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man. I am the business.
Yes.
Right? I'm not a businessman. And so thinking of yourself as the business, thinking of yourself as the brand, because that, you can do whatever. You can go and become a public motivational speaker later. You could do whatever. You have the brand that you've built, the brand awareness, right? So the products are just the vehicle. And you want to do that right. You want to be passionate about the product and all those things, but never lose sight of the fact that you're building a brand, not a product.
Correct. Correct.
There
I
you go.
love that.
Simply Samone, right on there.
Yeah, I love that. And we both were rocking her
have
shirt, but she's not selling these shirts. But anytime she does live or anytime she's wearing her products, because she wants people to know, like you said, she wants to really represent her brand.
This is me.
Yes. That's beautiful. You're doing it so well. I'm so proud of you, and I'm excited to see you, a year or two from now. So here's what I want to know from you, Nyla. What is your plan to be able to handle the next phase of growth, right? Because you're getting ready where, you could be getting this product in some retail stores. You could, right? All of that is in front of you. So that's beyond what you can handle in terms of your own capacity, running school, doing all this stuff, still getting time for roadblocks. Right? What is that growth plan for you, your scalability plan?
That's a good question.
So pretty much, like, what do you mean?
Like, what is your plan? Like, how are you going to be able to handle the growth? Will you add more employees? Will your employees become
right? Will you buy a robot that makes the earrings for you? Like, what?
So my plan is just, I like to do things on my own. I don't really like help, but it's always good to have that extra help when you need it. But I like to do things on myself. I'm just like worried that I hire my family because I know that I can trust them. Yeah. I don't really like doing outsider people that I don't know because I don't want to mess it up. But I would like more employees in the future. I'll probably hire some of my other family members just because I don't want different people coming in and I don't know how to explain it. Just
she don't want nobody taking her ideas.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that. So
it's the quality control, right? Like your name, you are still the brand. And so if you put out a product that is not up to par and it was someone else that put it together or whatever, that reflects poorly on you. Now I will say this though, think about this very seriously. How am I going to grow? Because a lot of times the business owner, I've done this, is the lid on progress because they're like, I don't want to grow beyond me. I like doing it myself, all that type of stuff. Don't hold yourself back by not being willing to delegate. And you have to understand, someone you hire might only get 90% grade of what you would have done.
Correct.
You still need to be on quality control and checking every product before it goes out, right? Because it's representing your brand. But at some point, make sure you're not the lid on your own growth, right? Because, I got to do it. I have to, touch everything by hand or whatever. That's not scalable. That's not sustainable.
That's not.
As you grow. So just if I'm offering one piece of business advice to my 10-year-old my favorite 10-year-old business owner, that's it. Don't let yourself be the limit on your own success because you think you need to own the whole thing and you're not willing to delegate.
Right. I love that you touched on that, but this girl right here doesn't have any problem delegating.
Right.
She is a true boss. And that's one thing that I want to make sure that I mention. Our family is so involved in the business. My mother, my grandmother, my sister.
Especially my grandma.
Yes.
My grandparents, a lot of them.
Yes. All of her grandparents.
All of them.
In whatever
my
way.
Grandpas.
Including her grandpas, yes. She had 6 or 7 living grandparents.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Anyway, my point is she does have so much help, and that's how we've been able to grow this far. And so to utilize that help that we already have, but be able to delegate, what is it that I need you to do? Because my grandmother asks all the time, and my mom, what is it that we can do to help? Yeah. Because they want to help, but they need to know what to do and how can I help. So that is the plan, to make this a true family business. We have so many family members that are wanting to help, willing to help, and just really utilize them, and then if we need to outsource, definitely
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll just have to break my chain and stop doing that because it's not good to really judge someone because you don't know, they could be really good at making earrings, you never know their talents, but I don't know, I just need to trust people, and if I show them how to do it, then they'll be able to do it. Like my aunt, she didn't know how to make earrings. We had to teach her, and she's really good now. She's been working with us for a very long time, and she's good now. So
Yeah.
I just have to kind of trust people because I don't know what they can do yet.
Yeah. And you realize that
Oh,
help
boy.
is kind of what, I'm sorry, you realize that help is a breath of fresh air. You
Yeah.
know, just to be able to have somebody
Like, wow,
do something
she really
this
did
small.
this good.
Right.
And
So,
we have a whole bunch of earrings made now. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and then as the business owner, know which parts of your business you can delegate and which ones you never
That you
delegate,
need help. You're struggling.
right? But then which are the areas that you never like, no, I always need to be involved in this area of the business.
Yeah.
This is my strength, you know? And so just be thinking about that and delegating out to some of the other pieces. I think that's beautiful. So Nyla, one piece of advice that you could offer to, you know, a really young 9-year-old startup, right? If you could go back to a younger version of yourself, what do you wish you knew then that you know now as an entrepreneur?
First thing first is organization. Like before, I didn't have any kind of organization, but we started like realizing that, okay, this is messy. This is not organized, and we need to get organized in order to know where it's at, because we're like, oh my gosh, where are these blue earrings? Where's this? Where's that? And it's in this basket. It's in this container. And we're like, how did this get mixed up? So it's like you have to be organized for one, and for two is how much work comes behind it. Like a lot of people who aren't business owners, like some of my friends, they don't know that like packing orders, all of that stuff adds up. Like packing orders, posting every day, try to get posting, all of that stuff, like doing live videos. It's just a lot of work that comes behind it, but it all pays off. But it's just like, it's a lot of work. And 9-year-old me didn't know that, but now I know. And it's definitely
now I know.
sometimes where it's just like, oh my gosh, but it's all worth it. It pays off at the end of the day. It's just good to have my business and my dream that I wanted, because some people want businesses and they can't have it because they don't have the ability or their family members or something like that. So it's really a blessing to kind of have that support, and like all of my family kind of helping me and surrounding me, supporting me, because I know some people who want a business, they can't have it and stuff like that. So I'm just really grateful and happy that I can have my dream.
One life hack that I'm learning right now in my life, and you can learn it now at 10, is the power of, what do they call it? It's like working in batches, batch work.
Yes.
So for even social media, I have a friend who does all of her social media one Saturday a month.
That's smart.
Boom, boom, boom. Knock out all the content, get it on a social media calendar, which there are apps that can do that and post it for you. It just goes out. And now if something happens, like, I don't know, Black Lives Matter or whatever, and it's like something has changed, she'll go edit and add content. But the bulk of her work is like 8 hours straight on a Saturday, and she doesn't have to touch it.
Wow.
Like maybe 5 minutes a week here and there to like really make the content relevant, but it's built, you know. And same thing with earring orders. Like there are ways that you could say, you know what, when Monday, Wednesday, Friday are packing days. Nobody gets anything else other than that. Right? You just work in batches.
That's what we do.
So Tuesday, Thursday, here's what I'm doing. So that's kind of the next step of efficiency or productivity is, and it triggered when you said, you know, I'm trying to post every day, because that's what I've been doing. And I'm like, wait, what am I doing? Like put the content together on a content calendar. You know, okay, November, Black Friday, I'm going to be ready for that Black Friday sale, all this type of stuff. Like, you know, in advance, most of the things that are happening. So plan out your business that way and do it in batches.
Yes. I love that. I love that. And that's something that we really have done, because we realize you know, if you plan when you have time, it makes everything so much easier. You know, it really does. But one thing I want to touch on that we didn't mention is her passion for donating and giving to organizations. Been that kind of person. Like,
if you have a birthday, I'm going to get you a gift. Like, I'm going to get you a gift, my own gift. I always
so
do that.
March 22nd, go ahead.
He said March 22nd.
Great, I'll get you a gift.
And she will. She might show up to your shop with some more balloons.
Oh, yeah, that was the
like,
best.
I'm that kind of person. Like, I don't want to give it as a family gift.
Yeah.
That's just how I always been. So I was like donating and stuff. It's definitely my thing.
Yeah. So since she has started her business, she has donated to 4 or 5 organizations, nonprofit. One was a diabetes organization. I can't remember the names of these. One was a mentoring agency for young girls. This month we are doing Sickle Cell Awareness Month because her little sister has sickle cell. So we are donating to a nonprofit organization for that. And then next month we're going to do breast cancer awareness. So she tries to also tie in earrings to those organizations.
Like by the color and stuff.
Yeah, by the color. Yeah. So, you know, trying to connect that. Since Sickle Cell Awareness is burgundy, she's got burgundy earrings called Nia Rose on her website. And those are the color for Sickle Cell Awareness. And so next month we'll do a pink for breast cancer.
And we're going to name it after my great aunt who died.
Yes.
Because breast cancer.
Yes. So it's really cool that she enjoys giving, and then she also has helped other little girls start businesses. So that has really warmed my heart.
Yeah, it really has. Like, I see people in my DMs, they're asking, what should I have for my business? You really like encourage me, and I'm like, oh, this is so nice. Like, I really never thought that I would be like people's idols and stuff. Like, I never knew that, because most of the time they're my idols. I have idols. So it's just like to be somebody's idol is like, whoa.
Yeah, it's really sweet though. They're sending her DMs and Instagram and, you know, how did you do this? You know, how can you, what product should I sell? Yeah, can I have tips on?
And I love helping people because I'm just that kind of person. So I'm like, sure, you should do this. And I give them a name because my mom is so creative. So we come with a name and boom, they've got a business and they're starting it. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, this girl really started her business.
Yeah, that's been really cool to watch. Like, other little kids being inspired by her.
No, that is called consulting. Okay. Right. And just know that, because so for me, for such a long time, you know, I would go and sit down with people at coffee shops and they would like, oh, hey, I got this idea. I'm like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Let's do it. And I didn't know I was consulting. I would just do that for free any day. You know, but pay attention, because now, Nyla, people pay me to do that, right? To help them start businesses and get up and running and do all that type of stuff. Like, that's absolutely, if you want to do anything like that, you can be paying it forward. Once your business is like running and, you know, only needs you 10 hours a week or whatever, you can be consulting and getting.
You can be a consultant.
Right? Yes. Okay, so where do we find your work?
What's your website?
Oh, okay, www.simplysamone.com.
How do we spell that? Because the Samone is...
So Samone is spelled Sam1, so Samone. It's no
so spell it from the beginning. Simply.
So Simply is Simply, and then Samone is Samone.
So
www.
Go there, buy some earrings, buy some coin purses, whatever next products come out, buy them, and really just support this wonderful family who's doing so much good in the world.
And we're on Instagram. We're also
on Instagram at simply_Samone1
and Facebook Simply Samone 1.
Perfect. Keep it up. I am so proud.
Thank you so
much. Thanks for being here with me today, and I wish you all the success and all the happiness in the world.
Thank you so much
for this.